Hello, this is Daily Art Adventure 269C, I believe. Third part today of me continuing to do this Santa in oil paint on aluminum. Let me pick this up and let you see it again up close before I begin working. And I want you to see partly again the fun of the iridescence when you see it when it moves. You see the different reflections that you really can't see when it's a static shot. That's part of what makes painting, in my opinion, that's part of what makes painting on aluminum so fun, is that iridescence. I said yesterday when I started this project, there's some people that take aluminum and then gesso the whole thing, and paint it opaque, which doesn't make any sense to me, but because I think the beauty of the aluminum is that it peeks through here and there. Okay, so you see where I am. I'm pretty much done, I think, with the whole top of, I'm done from here up with his face. And it's taken me longer than I had expected, but I've been having a good time. But am I making money? I don't know. That's another question. Yes, make an offer. This painting is for sale. I will consider prices probably $200 and up for it. So, in other words, would I take less than $200 for it? Probably not. You're welcome to make any offer. You can offer me 25 cents if you want, but I'm under no obligation to receive such an offer. Okay, I want to bring you in though and show you I mention this principle often when I'm painting. Well, let me restate it. When you are painting in opaque media, so it's not watercolor, this is acrylic and oil. When you're, in my case, past the transparent phase and you're focused on, you're now doing the, hello Ruth. Yeah, good, yeah, copper, I would love to try copper, can't wait, but yeah, it is quite a bit more expensive. Thanks for that comment. When you're painting in the opaque phase, so for me, that's only in the last couple stages of the painting process. But here's the rule. In opaque painting, it's almost always a good idea to paint something slightly lighter than the previous layer. So I want to demonstrate that for you right now. In fact, I started out by demonstrating poorly, and I said, wait a minute, this would be a good time to bring my friends back in and look at this. So I have just finished doing all of Santa's beard in a dull, dirty mustard yellow. Of course, as an artist, that means yellow ochre with some brown and black and dirtiness in it. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about don't try to copy my formula. Just get the idea. And then I mixed up a color and said, okay, now it's time to come in. You can see my my reference here, my phone. Now it's time to come in and start doing those light highlights. So I mixed that up and started doing this, and as soon as I put one stroke down, I went, what's wrong with that? It is not slightly lighter than what's already there. It's more than slight. So it doesn't work. It's too garish, it's too striking, it's too whatever. So I'm going to wipe it off. It's pretty easy to do. And I've mixed up here a dirtier version of the color that's there. Now, I don't know if it's the right color or not. Oh, no, turns out it's not the right color. So I want something right between the two colors. A few minutes ago, I put something down that was too light. Then just now, I put something down that was too dark. So I'm trying to mix up a color that's halfway in between. There we go. Okay. Let me use by the way, when it comes to edge control and brush strokes, there really is an advantage. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but there really is an advantage to painting with two hands, because these hairs grow this way. It's much more natural for the strokes to go this way. I could do this with my right hand, but I'd be doing things like this. Does that make sense? Rather awkward position. So it really is to my advantage to do these strokes with the left hand. Of course, that requires maybe a little bit of control with the left hand, which some of you won't have if you're just starting to paint with two hands. Okay, good enough, I think. Now, let's continue. So what I'm going to do basically, this is not, clearly this is not the last layer or the last word on this beard. This is the second layer of at least three. I know I'm going to come back at least one more time and do an even brighter color than I'm doing right now. At least one more layer. Possibly, probably, I would say probably two more layers. Again, what I want you to grasp is that it's almost always successful, and there are not that many things in painting that you can say, quote unquote, almost always. Like this is always a good idea. So when you find one, you kind of want to hang on to it. Yep. It's nice to have the reference. I used my own finger, my own hand for this drawing of the hand. So it's quite nice to be able to look right at the image I'm painting. Painting from life really is better than painting from photographs. Okay, and by the way, this fellow right here has considerably more body fat on him than I do, happy to say. So I'm happy to say I don't have as much as him. So I also want to try to make these fingers a little bit chubbier than. Now this right down here, let me pick you up just for a minute. The work that I just did, okay, pardon me while I jerk you around a little bit. The work that I just did where the dirty mustard color, hang on a second, mixed with the wet red paint created a really nice brush strokes. Okay? Those are nice marks. If you ever, again, wonder what nice marks are, those are some examples of nice marks. Wet in wet painting is where that kind of thing happens. Okay, let me continue. Hello. I've been alone for a couple hours here at the house. It's been quite nice, but the gang is back, which is also quite nice. So, yay for grandchildren in the house. Okay, I'm not going to keep you while I do this entire second layer of light on this beard. I don't want to retain you this whole time. I mainly just wanted to point out that principle again, and I'll come back after this, and maybe I'll bring you back in. I'm going to mix up another color that's lighter than this. Here's the rule. Every rule can be broken, but here's the rule. We, human beings, we get a kick. We enjoy seeing light paint on top of dark paint. We do not so much like seeing dark paint on top of light paint. Some of you are saying, well, says who? Well, look at your paintings. And that might be one of the reasons that they're not working so well, is because you've put dark. Now, I've talked many times, and I'll talk again. So what do you do? Because there are times you have to put dark paint on top of light. Duh, of course. But here's what you do then. You make the dark paint transparent, first of all. That makes us feel happier. And then secondly, you follow up. After you've done your dark paint on top of light paint, you follow up with light paint again on top of that dark paint. So that's the two answers. How do you do dark paint on top of light? Because you have to do it sometimes. But generally speaking, what we like to see, and that's what I'm demonstrating right here, what we like to see is light paint on top of darker paint. So that's what you're seeing right now. And in a little while, I'm going to come back and mix up a whiter. Of course, you can see the difference between... You don't speak Deutsch. Ich kann spreche in ein keine, no, bitte, no, what's the word, little Deutsch, keine, oh, it's been too long, can't remember. Anyway, you can see the difference between the luminosity of this beard, and this is not anywhere close to that. So I've got a ways to go here to get it that bright. But that's good enough for a very short episode. I hope to be back in a little while showing you the next layer of white. Thanks so much for watching. I missed a comment, didn't I? Is it possible for me to go back and see those comments? I'm not sure that it is. Thank you, Ruth, for trying to communicate with our German friend. Hello, Dan. German here, living in Florida. Oh, thank you, Ruth. You could translate for us. Appreciate it. Okay. Bye-bye. I'll see you in a little while.